It's always tempting to look back, even dwell in the past, especially if the early years were successful and marked with sensational events. Somehow I've resisted. The pull towards creating something new always seemed to me the more interesting choice. Bliss is like a patch of blue. I walk in it while I can.
Guardo la notte nascere, il cielo abbraccia il mare.
I was pretty ambitious and pretty successful at a young age, and then knew extreme failure at a not so old age, going into my 30s. And how it plays with your mind, how it plays with your confidence, your self-esteem, learning to separate the career from the life, learning how to grow into being a new man, in my case perhaps just a man, period. Self-acceptance, to be able to sing without too much self-consciousness. And that's what Canto is about.
Amo, perciò vivo, sento e allora sì capisco, sogno e così credo, canto. Per gli anni tristi in cui la melodia taceva, naufrago a terra, stendo un po' di vento mi spingeva, lo schiaffo d'un'onda poi di colpo scosse la vita nel cuore e l'amore. Sogno e così credo, canto e quindi sono. Adesso l'uragano mi dà pace ed armonia, anche il grido dei gabbiani è dolce melodia, come il faro nella notte guida navi all'orizzonte, una stella ora brilla per me. Perciò vivo, rido, e così la vita è bella, apro gli occhi, vedo, e così credo, canto e quindi sono. Per sempre, con il cuore canto e quindi sono. And when I think about those nights Montreal.
Montreal is still one of the great cities of the world, perhaps more so now than ever. Can't help it. I'm more nervous to play hometown than any other city. It's as if the part of me that never left peers back at me with the most discriminating eyes and ears. I guess I'm still trying to prove something to my friends and family.
His family was very musical. His father had been a singer, whose stage name, by the way, was Rick Romano.
Music was going on in our house, I mean, so early on, you know, that it just became a natural thing.
It was just part of the everyday curricular activity. We came home, there was music. We practiced our instruments.
The first time we were in a band, I think Gino was 12. I think I was 14 or something, so we were kids.
It doesn't look like much now, but this used to be the Casaloma. In the early 60s, this was the incredible hotspot in Montreal. You could see Duke Ellington, Count Basie. I myself met Gene Krupa here. He was my hero, my drum hero. In fact, I did play drums right here. I think it was 1962, much to my mother's disappointment.
In the beginning, we were chaperoned. We were working locally in Montreal. We played the clubs at the high schools and colleges and I think the local circuit, you know. And when we first started, actually my dad would show up. And I know he was concerned about us falling into the typical pitfalls that musicians fall into, especially when they're young and very impressionable.
Gino's early career was, largely focused on those fabulously sexy photographs of this, incredible man on stage.
At the time, of course, he had the long, wild afro, a little similar to my hair.
Gino was obviously a very good-looking guy. You knew he was slated for show business at some point in his life.
Women would just swoon and scream and, incredibly good-looking, a very attractive, sensual person with great stage presence.
Sheer energy, that sheer will, that blind ambition, that there are no walls that could stop me, the naivete, the innocence. Great, being an 18-year-old hairy Italian.
When I think about the way the world must turn, I get the saddest thoughts for you and me.
When I was 18, 19, most of the time I was in New York. I was not successful. I hated coming home empty-handed because I was much of a braggart in those days, and I was telling my friends, I'm going to conquer the world. And I didn't very quickly. But I did figure that maybe LA was going to be the next stop.